G'day everyone, it's Buck up in a pretty hot far north Queensland. Summer's just around the corner. Boy oh boy, it's quite a warm day today. It was well over 30 I think. And been pretty busy doing odd jobs around. Haven't done a video for a while, and I thought I was going to cook an Italian dish tonight that I've cooked for many years, and I think its proper name is Amatriciana. Phil the Maniac, if you're watching, get your mum to decipher that. Amatriciana. It's an Italian dish, got chorizo sausage in there. Going to do it with some pasta, and going to do it up on the old rocket stove. It's a bit warm to be cooking with a fire. We don't have fire bands here, but yeah, she's starting to warm up. But anyway, it's cooling down a bit now. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll get this fire going. The trick with, if you're going to cook over a fire, start burning your fire in early, guys. This is a homemade rocket stove. This is the second cook up I've done on the homemade rocket stove, made out of besser bricks. And if you haven't seen, I'm not going to show you how to make it. I've got a clip up where I did coconut curry chicken, and I'll show you how I make it out of 4 besser bricks and a cup and 2 besser brick caps. Okay, and it's just a homemade rocket stove. Works really well. Last time I did crack the top brick from the heat. I've got another one on there now, but this is a great way to cook. Big camp oven, you're going to do the matriciana in there, and the little one I'm going to do some spiral pasta, and it's going to be good. Going to whip up a drink in a minute with some Grove fruit juice. I'll show you how to do that one. And but what I'll do while I'm mixing the drink up is I'll start this fire. I've got a couple of natural fire lighters down the bottom there, and just going to use some kindling. And the good thing with a rocket stove is you don't need big chunks of wood, guys. They work really well on minimum wood. And speaking of minimum wood, I've got my Kelly kettle in there, and tomorrow or Sunday I'm going to do a Sunday morning smoko probably. Make a cup of coffee with some wild touring coffee in my Kelly kettle, where you use some small sticks and that, and boil the water up in the Kelly kettle. Wait till you see that one, it's an absolute beauty. That's going to be the next clip after this one. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this thing, and I think its proper name is Amatriciana, and I just call it Matriciana. And basically some bacon in there, some chorizo sausage fried up, onion, mushrooms, pasta sauce. It's just a real basic, great camp feed, really good camp feed, this one. And the good thing is now, the cost of living and whatever, this is a fairly reasonable price feed, and you'll get another feed tomorrow out of it. When you cook up a big camp oven full of stuff, you can always live on the leftovers the next day, which makes your money go further. And when you're out camping, if you've got a way to reheat it in a frying pan or whatever, you can reheat it in a frying pan or a saucepan, whatever. Or if you've got a microwave in a caravan, you can reheat it the next day and have it again. So it goes a long way. Anyway, I'll stop jibber jabbering. I'm going to light this fire and start burning it in, and then I'm going to make a bloody afternoon drink for me and Roz out of some Grove fruit juice. You beauty. As I said, I'm going to mix myself a drink, guys. Friday afternoon, why not? Got to have a drink while you're having a cook up. You can hear the rocket stove crackling away there. The wood's getting going. That's what we want. Want to burn your fire in nice and early. Hey, while I'm here, I put a post on Facebook yesterday about this item here, guys, Grove juice, which is made down in my old hometown of Warwick. I've got some really fond memories of Warwick. I used to go to school there for about 3.5 years, Christian Brothers College, CBC. We used to towel the high school up, the Warwick State High in rugby league. Always beat them in the rugby league, and used to play for a rugby league team called Collegians. There was 2 teams there when I was there, and they were bitter enemies, Suburbs and Collegians. I was a Collegians boy. We used to wear Canterbury Bankstown colours, blue and white, and represented Warwick and District in the Queensland titles in under 13. So I wasn't a bad footy player back in the day. Front rower, didn't play out in the backs with a comb in me sock, used to play in the front row. But this Grove juice, the reason I'm mentioning them, guys, as you know, there's a big camp up next year down near Warwick, a little place called Allara, just north of there. Speaking of there, rugby league, I used to play rugby league against Allara when I played for Collegians, and a guy that played for Allara was Grant Rix, R-I-X, and he went on to play for the Broncos, and we played Warwick and District together. Grant, if you ever see this, you probably don't remember me, mate. We played Warwick and District together in the Queensland titles in 79 or something like that. I don't know what year it was, back in the late 70s. And Grant went on to play for the Broncos. He was an Allora boy, where the camp up's going to be. We're going to get down and support the little township of Allora, August next year, 9th, 10th and 11th. And these are one of the sponsors that have come on board for the Legends Camp Up, guys. As I said, I'm not part of the Legends thing. I'm just going down to support it, and I'm trying to get behind it as much as I can. And Grove Juice and Rob the Wanderer Oz, AUS, get on. And I think he's probably got his clip back up by now. He did a wonderful clip the other day with Grove Juice and did a walkthrough with Hein, who's the workplace health and safety rep down there for Grove Juice. They've come on board as the sponsors. Aussie made, no preservatives, not made from concentrate. This is the Ridgy-Dig stuff, guys. You can get it in Coles and Woolies and a lot of your common supermarkets. And I went into Coles yesterday. It was in Coles. And I got the orange juice, the pulp-free one. Usually I like the pulp-in one. They've got that as well, but if you're going to have a vodka and orange, I like the pulp-free one for that. Got the mandarin juice, which is beautiful, and the cloudy apple's not bad either, guys. The cloudy apple goes well, and they've got some other flavours there as well. So if you want to support a great Aussie company, Grove Juice, and they support, you know, Rob put up the figures of how much fruit they put through their pressing machines, from the pressing machines straight into the bottles, guys. That's basically how fresh it is. So there's no gunk and that in there. It's just pure fruit juice, and you can when you taste it, you'll know why. When you drink the mandarin juice, it's just like squeezing a mandarin straight into your mouth. It really is absolutely beautiful. So thousands and thousands of kilos of fruit each day Grove Juice go through, and all the fruits from all Aussie farms down in New South Wales and that, so they're supporting the Aussie farmers. So get in there. If you go into your supermarket next, Coles or Woolies, look for Grove Juice, guys. It was on sale at Woolies for $5. It was $6, just over $6 in Coles, but they kind of take it in turns to have sales on this stuff, Grove Juice. And it's in is it a litre bottle? Oh, 1.5 litre bottle. They're great bottles. You can use the bottles for water or something afterwards as well. So what I'm going to do now is I've got the orange juice there, the pulp-free orange juice from Grove Juice, and I forgot to, prior preparation prevents a piss-poor performance, Buck. The 6 Ps that we used to say in the army, prior preparation prevents a piss-poor performance, and it's true. Be prepared. Always be prepared. So, going to mix myself a nice vodka and orange. Put a great photo up of the Grove Juices yesterday on Facebook, and Dean Roach come on and said, "Buck, you forgot the vodka." And I said, "No, Roachy, I didn't, mate. I got some vodka on the way home too." And as you can see, me and Roz had a couple of little sneaky vodkas last night. Sat out here late in the afternoon, had a vodka, lime and soda. Absolutely beautiful. Going to show you how my old man showed me how to mix any spirit, guys. And the trick is, and this is from my dad, the trick is that you only use 2 capfuls, whether you're using rum or scotch, vodka, gin, anything. 2 capfuls only is the secret. Okay, so what I might do is cut it there, pan the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and this is the way to make a perfect mix of spirit. So I hope you can see that. Got a nice big glass there. Now the first thing I'm going to do, geez, you can tell how hot it is. Look, the ice is melting already. It's only been out for a few minutes. I like lots of ice in my mixes, guys. I don't know about you. Some people don't like ice. I like heaps of ice, so we'll throw some ice in there. Heaps of ice. Now, this is the trick my dad showed me. 2 caps only is the big secret. Rightio. So we'll measure it out. 2 caps only. 1, 2 caps only, guys. That's the secret from Dad. 2 caps only. Doesn't matter what spirit you have. We'll give the Grove Juice a good shake up because it's fresh. So give her a good shake up so it doesn't sit on the bottom. Pour her in. Lid back on. Don't cross thread it, Buck. Geez, I can cross thread things. Swizzle stick. Give her a good mix up. And as I said, the magic thing 2 caps only of your spirit. Bit of orange. Righto, let's give her the taste test. Look who just came out to say g'day, everyone. Rafa! Say g'day, Raf! Rafa said, g'day, everyone. He said, I'm going to the Legends camp up next year too. Hope you're bringing all your doggies to that one. Looking forward to seeing it. And he said, exciting news. Dad's ordered the patches, and he said, I'm one of the patches, and we're going to sell some patches for the Legends charity as well. Set of 4 Mr. Buckaroony patches. There'll be a Mr. Buckaroony one, a Rafa the dog one, couple of Gidgee Gorilla ones. Set of 4, so get ready to dig into your pockets, guys, because every cent we make from the sale of the patches is going to go to the Legends camp. We're hoping to raise just short of 5 grand if we sell all 180 sets of the patches, and me and Gidgee will round it up to 5 grand. So stay tuned, we'll talk more about that later. Rafa said, I've had enough now, I want to get down. Righto, let's give this the taste test. The old vodka and orange with Grove orange juice. Oh yeah, that's nice. Nice and refreshing. Last night we had a vodka lime and soda, that was nice too. Oh yeah, so there you go. Perfect way to make a mixer, guys. 2 caps only and your favourite mixer, and sit back and enjoy. Righto, the fire's getting going, the back bit's going. I might have to wiggle the front around, get the front going, burn that fire in a bit more, and then we'll get stuck into the cook up with Amatriciana. It's a nice simple one you can do at home, on the stove, out camping, and the good thing is she's the old 1-pot wonder, or 2-pot wonder in this case, because I'm going to do the pasta in the small camp oven. But it's a bloody really good feed, it really is, and simple ingredients. If you can't get your hands on chorizo sausage, you can use smoked saveloys or any salami, anything that can go with your pasta sauce. I'll give you a close look just in case you didn't see the last clip. If you haven't, go and click on that, the coconut curry chicken one. I'll actually show you how to make that. 4 besser bricks, a couple of besser brick caps. The one at the back just blocks it off, and this is a besser brick rocket stove. Look at that, working beautifully. And at the front here, this is where your air comes in. So face the front towards the wind. Wind blows in this way, and it's got nowhere to go except up, because the sides are blocked off. So the only way the flames can go is up. We'll throw our camp oven on there, and that's how we'll cook. You can see that brick starting to get a crack in it, so they do crack, guys, so use some old besser bricks that you got lying around the home. The heat does crack them. Hey, another tip, if you are a vodka drinker, I don't drink a lot of vodka, I like a vodka every now and then. It is refreshing, especially when you have it with lime and soda and that. Nice refreshing drink. I can't do the gin, she's a bit toxic, that stuff, but the vodka I can. If you're going to have vodka, keep it in the freezer. It doesn't freeze, but it makes it go nice and thick. And if you want to have a little shot or whatever, that's the trick. Keep your vodka in the freezer, not the fridge, in the actual freezer. 1995, we went over to Papua New Guinea when I was in the army, and we were over there for 3 weeks, and part of that 3 weeks we actually walked the Kokoda Trail, which took a week, 7 days, 8 days or something to do. So we're up north there in a town called Popondetta, getting ready to get down to a village called Kokoda to start the Kokoda Trail and walk north-south and end at a place called Owa's Corner. Anyway, we overnighted at this place called Popondetta. Some Russian pilots there, ex-military guys, they were civilians when we were speaking with them, and we were in our army uniforms, and they had an American with them who was translating. They were a civilian flying an Antonov in and out of Papua New Guinea. Anyway, we got talking to them, and out come the vodka. And they drink vodka like we drink beer. They are absolutely mad. I had a couple of 7-ounce glasses of vodka, and they started bringing some more. I said, boys, we're walking the Kokoda Trail in 2 days. No way I'm starting that. Hungover and feeling like shit. So we called it quits there. They probably thought we're a bit soft, us Aussies, but they didn't have to walk the Kokoda Trail in a couple of days like we did. But yeah, they drink vodka like we drink beer. Absolute mad. But still remember that, eh? Jesus, they love their vodka. I don't mind it either, but I prefer to have something mixed with it. Wind's kicking up. Righto, first thing, a little bit of olive oil, not too much, into a preheated camp oven. Two sliced brown onions. In they go. Righto. Sizzle them up a little bit. Soften them up. A couple of minutes. Let's get that oil over them. Righto. We'll sizzle them up. Got some big plans for this side of the shed. We got that building over there so the BT camper trailer can go in there. So that boat, our boat's going to go get housed over there next year. We're going to turn that into boat storage over there where the green shade cloth is. There's a shade sail above there. And over here, got a bloke out the other day, basically going to have a sail track under the V there that you can see under the roof. And we're going to have a proper vinyl shade sail coming out to 3 poles out here. So this will all be undercover because we get a lot of rain up here. You wouldn't think so at the moment. It's quite dry. Wet season hasn't hit yet. And this here is all going to be paved. We're going to pave this whole area. It'll all be undercover from the rain. And Roz wants a nice little rainforest timber bar up in the corner there. And we're going to have outdoor setting out here. Pizza oven, barbecues will be out here undercover. This is going to be our outdoor entertainment area. And the roof will, basically the vinyl will sail track on up under there and come out to 3 poles. So this whole area will be paved, undercover, and I'm thinking, Ross said, what about a kick-ass, one of those kick-ass, what are they called, projectors on one of their big blow-up screens, watching State of Origin on the side of the shed next year, watching Origin, sitting back with a few beers in our chairs back here. This will be all paved. Have a big white screen up there with a kick-ass projector and watch the Origin out here. How good will that be? Have some bloody party lights and all that. We've got some big plans for this, so we're thinking of buying an Uni pizza oven, outdoor pizza oven to go out here as well. So yeah, exciting times ahead. This lid gets bloody hot, so g'day everyone. Lukey's Tassie Devil glove that he gave us. Righto. That onion's starting to sizzle up nicely now. Let's keep that lid off for a bit. A couple more minutes for that onion. Brown that onion and soften it up. Don't want to overcook it. You certainly want to soften it up. What you can do is put a bit of minced garlic in there at the moment. Do you think I can find it? I'll have a look out of my shed fridge, guys, in case I left it there last time. Bit of minced garlic in there, if you can. Next magic ingredients are going to go in real soon. Righto, the magic ingredient now, 4 sliced up chorizo sausages. That shit is dearer than gold at the moment. So just chorizo sausage sliced up, in that goes, and all the beautiful flavours will come out of that now. Sizzle that up in your camp oven. This is where the magic starts happening. When that chorizo starts cooking, all the oils come out and the smells and there is so much flavour in that chorizo when you fry it up. Unbelievable. And while I'm at it, I've got a Chinese container of diced up bacon. Good old 10% Aussie made bacon from the deli. Made with at least 10% Australian ingredients. Can you believe that shit? I forgot bacon yesterday. I said to Roz, grab some bacon on your way home. We usually get the Aussie stuff from the butcher if we can. Oh, that's starting to sizzle up now. You want a fair bit of heat in your rocket stove for this part. So you don't want to just simmer this now. You want a fair bit of heat to really get that sizzling. And can't feed the wood in from the top. I can feed it in from the front, which I'll do that now. Stand by. A couple of bits like this. I'll feed them in the front. Here you go. So this part of the cook, when you're doing your chorizo and your bacon and that, this is where you want a bit of heat. Look at the flames coming out there now. The breeze is coming in right into the front of that rocket stove. I've got the rocket stove facing east at the moment where the sea breeze is coming in, and it's bloody cranking straight into the front of that, working like a beauty. Righto, there you go, you get the idea. We'll come back when that's all sizzled up and we'll have some beautiful oil. Look at all that oil starting to come out of the chorizo. That's the flavour there. That's the magic ingredient, the chorizo. Chorizo, whatever, however you pronounce it. Phil the Maniac, are you watching? How do you say that? Chorizo. Righto. So I just gave this a stir. You can see all the oil coming out of the chorizo now. Look what I found on the bottom. This one here. Look at that. That one got stuck on the bottom and he burned a bit. Straight in me gob. Oh yeah. That's nice. What we got to do, get your flames going here. You really want to sizzle this chorizo. You don't want to put your sauces and all that in yet until this chorizo has crisped up a bit, guys. So keep crisping him up. Keep your flames high just for now. Once your sauces go in, you can simmer, but for now we want that high heat and we want the oil coming out of the chorizo. That's your flavour. Come on. Keep going. While we're at this stage, I'm going to, bit of salt and pepper, guys, bit of seasoning. I like pepper. I'm going to throw some pepper in. Freshly, all the different colours. Peppercorn medley or whatever they call it. Heaps of pepper in there and a little bit of salt. Throw a bit in, not too much because we're going to put olives in. They're quite salty. So in they go. Let's grab my spoon, we'll stir that through. That chorizo's starting to, yeah, that's what we want. The chorizo and the bacon starting to crisp up nicely now. And you can see all the oil coming out of the chorizo. That's flavour, guys. That is bloody beautiful. That's what makes this dish, is the flavour that comes out of the fried chorizo. Chorizo, shitzo, whatever you want to call it. Righto, a few more minutes, then we'll get the mushrooms in. Hey, just before the mushrooms go in, got a quick funny story for you. As you know, for 20 years, I had this back paddock to myself. Neighbour further up owned it, Brendan Topless. And Topper said, mate, use it at your own. I used to mow it for him and used to camp out there and do cook-ups out there and set the old dot trailer up out there. Anyway, there's an old couple living out there and they're converting the shed into a house. And my goodness, what a marathon task that is. Anyway, they're Jehovah Witnesses. And as you know, I'm not real religious. But I'm a Roman Catholic on paper. A bad one at that. Anyway, made the mistake the other day of mentioning religion to him. Anyway, we got onto the subject of God, and he said, hope he's not listening. And he said, you know, God's name is Jehovah, don't you? And I said, no, it's not Jehovah, is it? He goes, yeah, God's name's Jehovah. I said, no, it's not, it's Harold. He said, Harold? I said, yeah, Harold. And that brick's, yeah, getting a crack in there. So if you ever do these sidetrack, squirrel, crack forming in that top brick. So be willing to sacrifice a besser brick. They only cost about $4 every time you do this, because there is a lot of heat coming up. It's only the top one that cracks. But anyway, it's still fine. It's not until you go to move it that it splits in half. Anyway, he said, yeah, God's name's Jehovah, because they're Jehovah Witnesses. And I said, no, it's Harold, mate. He said, how did you come up with that? I said, well, I always taught, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Anyway, he just shook his head and walked off. He thought, I ain't even going to try and preach to this idiot. He's an absolute diddly donk, and he cannot be taken serious. But I still haven't told him my best Jehovah Witness joke. I'm going to swear, guys, so if there's kids around, block their ears. I haven't told him this one yet. I think it'll go down like a lead fart because they're Jehovah's Witnesses, as I said. It's an old Rodney Rood joke. I was going to say, what do you get when you cross a Jehovah's Witness and a Hell's Angel bikie? Someone who knocks on your door and tells you to fuck off. That's an old Rodney Rood joke, but yeah, they don't. I've let shit go a few times and they frown if you even say shit or geez, and they pick you up on it, so you got to be careful. I've got to be on my best behaviour now with my new neighbours, but they're not a nice old couple, but they're very religious. They don't swear, they don't drink. I'm probably the worst bloke they could possibly live near, but at the end of the day, they're nice people, and that's all that counts. So anyway, there you go. That's what I'm up against. I don't think he'd knock on my door preaching because he knows I'm an absolute bloody idiot when it comes to religion. Tell you what, that vodka and orange went down real good. I'm on to the beers now. Oh, grey buckaroony cool, looks good, doesn't it? Righto, next one. Big ton of the sliced mushrooms, guys. I'll get the big one because they do melt down, or not melt down, but cook down. You've got to have mushrooms in this. I know there's people out there that don't like mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, probably you won't want to cook this dish. So we'll stir it through. Our chorizo there is like, you can see how it's nice and cooked now, crisped up a bit. This one here is a good example. Crisp your chorizo up and your bacon, and now it's time to go in with the mushrooms. They'll provide a little bit of liquid. So what we want to do now is reduce those mushrooms down, let them cook down into the chorizo, and the best way to do that, give them a stir in, make sure that's not too hot, throw the lid on for 5 minutes, and in the meantime we'll sit back and have a beer. Righto, so those mushrooms have cooked down enough for now. We've got a lot more simmering to go. I'll just stoke the fire back up. Can of Ardmona, 100% Australian grown diced tomatoes. So I'm going to throw a can of diced tomatoes in, everyone. In they go. And while I'm at it, I bought 2 bottles. I don't know if I won't put 2 in at the moment. This just bloody $2 a bottle, Italian passata from Coles. So I've got to use my left hand because I have done something to this thumb, guys. I don't know what it is, and I think I've torn a ligament in it. Don't know how I did that. Getting out of bed probably. In that goes, and you don't want to waste that. I'll show you what I'll do. Look at this, guys. $9.99 a bottle for a litre bottle. Now that's what I'm talking about. Under $10 for a litre bottle of Merlot. We'll throw a bit of red plonk in. Good splash. And I might have one myself later. Throw that. Shake her up. Get all that passata out of the bottle. And put that in. If it looks a bit dry, throw a second bottle in. I don't know if I'll need it. I don't know if I'll need that second bottle. I shouldn't. 1 bottle should be enough. You don't want it too runny, but you don't want it too dry either. But I reckon that's going to be fine. I can always put a little bit of water in, I guess, or a bit more red wine. So there we go. I've only got about 1 more ingredient to go in there yet. I won't put them in yet. And what we want to do now, this is where you can let your fire burn down a little bit now, because we want to simmer this for a good a half hour, 45 minutes. No hurry. Roz is out having a walk with her sisters. Gone for a walk. She'll get a good sweat up. She'll be ready for a vodka and orange when she gets home, because it's quite a warm afternoon. Righto, so give that a good mix in. Make sure everything's down in the juice, and so that doesn't dry out too much. We'll throw our lid on, keep all the moisture in. Hey guys, sorry if the camera's a bit wonky. It's gone all lopsided for some reason. Hey, I want a bit of a rant, and I'm sure most of yous will know where I'm coming from. I went shopping yesterday and did I only went for a few items, and I thought, no bugger at all. It was payday, and I thought, oh bloody, I'll do a big shop, stock the cupboards up. I came out with nowhere near a trolley's worth. I had a slab of water, 24 waters, 8 big waters that I keep out in the shed fridge. Get coming into summer, so I like to have water in the fridges and whatever. Bought the ingredients for this cook up. Anyway, a few other things. I walked out of there, and when I swiped my Flybuys card at Coles, and the lady said $280, and I thought I was expecting about 180, 200, and she said 280, and I went, how much? She said 280, and I could feel my blood right. I just put my card in, PIN number, grabbed me, see ya. I walked out, shaking my head in both disgust and disbelief. The price, has anyone noticed the price of groceries in recent times is getting out of hand? And I mean getting out of hand. Things that used to be a couple of bucks are now $5, and it's adding up, and it's getting to the stage now, and I don't work anymore. If you're new to the channel, guys, I'm on an army pension. I live on a Veteran Affairs pension, so I'm on nowhere near as much money as when I was working, when I was a correctional officer. You had a few bills and that come up, pull a couple of overtime shifts, pay your rates or something. You know, I don't have that luxury now. I just get a standard friggin' measly pension each fortnight. And when you go to the grocery shop, the grocery stores, mostly shop at Coles, sometimes Woolworths, and you just dread going in there now, don't you? And yesterday I walked out. I won't swear. I've sworn once this clip. I won't do it again. And I was filthy. I was filthy. I don't know. I got angry because of just how much. $280. How are these young people going now that are struggling to find work? There's maybe she's at home with the kids, maybe getting a little bit of government assistance. He's out working a bloody job that pays 20 something bucks an hour, and they got 2 or 3 kids. How are people getting by? The price of rent now, we're lucky, we own our own house. The house next door to us, we're renting that out, and we're going to sell it next year because it's just getting unsustainable to keep it. We're still paying that house off, and it's just interest rates going up 13 times in a row. This mongrel bloody Cassowary Coast Council, because it's a rental home, they charge you more rates than the home that we live in. Even though there's no more facilities there, it's still the same water, sewerage, rubbish collection, nothing extra, but they charge you extra because it's a rental home. It's just a money grab. Every time you get your insurance for a rental property, oh, it's a rental property, insurance goes up. It's just unsustainable now, and we're offloading it next year because it's just it's burning a hole in our pocket. And Roz will probably get the shits talking our personal life now. I'm just being real, guys. I'm being real, and now that I'm not working, I'm coming back to reality. I'm coming back to how a lot of people in this country are doing it. I rang my daughter up the other morning. Her and Buzzy are paying off a nice home over in Western Australia. I said, Loz, how you going? How you going for your repayments and that? No, we're good, Dad. And luckily Lauren and Buzzy have got good jobs, and they're keeping their head above water. But it's better than what a lot of people are doing. There's young couples out there that went in and got a big mortgage, and they could afford the payments, and first, second, third, fourth interest rate hike, they probably thought, yeah, we still got it covered. 13 interest rate hikes in a row, and now people are sinking, guys. People are coming unstuck. And it's just, you speak to anyone in this country and everyone's complaining about the cost of living, and the government doesn't seem to give a shit. They just are out of touch. The media is hammering on at the moment. Even the media are hammering on about the cost of living, but the government seem to make other things priority. Albo's on his 20th trip overseas or something at the moment. I know some of the trips are important, But he's got to get back to grassroots and look after the basic Aussie that is struggling. I'm not saying we're struggling, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm sitting here having a beer and I can afford a bottle of vodka and that. I'm not on the bones of my arse. But it's hard, isn't it? And I feel sorry for the young kids now. They've got a big mortgage. And I think it's all right for when I was a young fella. The cost of houses and everything, the cost of living, you know, you got by. Now these young kids, I feel sorry for them. These Gen Z kids, as weird as they are, the poor buggers, they must be doing it hard, you know. Feel sorry for these young kids that want to get married and have kids and buy a house. The groceries, the cost of living, it's bullshit. Anyway, you know where I'm coming from. Put a comment down. Is it just me? Is everyone out there feeling the pinch? Especially if you're on a pension like I am. I've had to tighten my belt, guys. I used to throw money around and probably still am a bit, you know, or these patches and all that type of stuff. I'm not getting YouTube money from YouTube anymore, which is my fault. But that used to allow me to do a little bit of charity stuff and that. I've got to tighten my belt now. And there's a lot of people out there, and I know, I won't mention his name, there's another guy out there that, you know, he was on $20-something an hour and doing it hard. You know who I'm talking about if you're watching, mate. We keep in touch regularly on Messenger. And he said, mate, I was on $20-something an hour driving tractors and all that, and the company I'm working for are raking in the dollars, massive profits. And he said, and me and my family are doing it tough because I'm on $20-something an hour, you know. It's like, anyway, if you're watching, Brett, keep your head up, mate. Keep your chin up, and bloody, you're not the only one, mate. There's a lot of people doing it tough out there. Anyway, sorry to jibber jabber so long, guys, but it is a problem, isn't it? And it's something I'm passionate about. It's not affecting me so much, but I just feel sorry for the young ones now that everyone's dream is to own their own house in Australia. That was a great Aussie dream, own your own house. There's a dead set, the only way people are gonna, these young kids are gonna own a house is when we die and we give our house to them. It's sad, and it's a reality. Put a comment down. Am I talking shit, or am I on the money? Righto, final ingredient besides the cheese, olives. I love them. I know there's people out there that don't like them. Always use the Kalamata, the pitted Kalamata, and what I've got, just a bit over half a jar there. I'm going to put the lot in because me and Roz love olives. In they go. Good Greek olives. My old mate Johnny Papadopoulos, he'd be loving that. He'd be going, yep, go the Greek olives. Greek olives in an Italian dish. So there you go. So you've got to put olives through. I reckon that makes it. You could eat that now, actually, if you really wanted to, but we're not going to. Going to let that simmer for another. I've let the flames burn right down now, so that's just a real slow simmer. We don't want it too hot now. Going to let those olives simmer. Be careful of these too. Warning, just because it says pitted Kalamata olives, there is a warning on the jar that could still contain pits. You don't want to chip your Barry beef, because I tell you what, dentists charge almost as much as Coles and Woolworths do. So just be careful of the olives. You don't bloody chip a tooth on a bloody pit that's supposed to not be in there. Righto, so that's it, guys. That's all I put in there now. We'll sprinkle some cheese over it when we serve it up. Righto. Yep, that's all right. Don't need the Tassie Devil. Put that on, simmering for 10-15, and then I'm going to crank the fire back on, crank the fire up, and I'm going to get stuck in and do the pasta. Hey, this is going to be more of a bloody talking clip than a cooking clip, but there's a good message behind this. Just notice my neighbour Brian, single guy. He works away, 3 weeks away, 1 week at home, and when he's at home he works his ass off trying to get his house. He's only just bought this house like 8 months ago, and gets home, works his ass off to try and get his home looking nice, and you know, he works up in the Torres Strait. He works for Telstra. Anyway, he's been coming home, and before the dry season hit, he'd come home and, you know, he'd spent all week looking after his yard and everything, and I said to him the other day, I said, mate, give me the keys to your ride-on lawnmower. I said, I'm retired now. And I said, when I'm around, I'll make sure when you come home your yard's mowed, blah blah blah. So been bloody whippersnippering, mowing his yard while he's away. On his, like, he's got a beautiful zero-turn ride-on lawnmower. I don't do it with I think I'll take mine over and do the edges with the hand mower, and then I'll get on his zero-turn and do his property and put his bins out, hose his bins out, and bloody gurneyed his driveway the other day for him and that. And I thought, that's the least I can do, you know. Like, he's a bloody good lad, good fella, loves his fishing, typical Aussie, loves a beer, loves a barbecue, loves his fishing and all that type of stuff. And I thought, that's what neighbours are about, you know. Like, instead of having a neighbour and not getting on with them, and I've had neighbours over in that house that I didn't get on with because they used to pick everything you did. They'd be out their window going, what are you doing? Well, eventually you'd say, piss off and mind your own business. But Brian's a good lad, and, you know, go over. And he said to me the other day, he said, when I go away for 3 weeks, he said, it's just good to know now that I don't have to pay someone to bloody mow my yard for me, or, you know, he said, it's just good to know that someone's looking after my yard and whatever. And I said, that's what neighbours are for, mate. And he said, oh, shout your beer when I get home and get you over for a barbecue. And that's what it's about. And message to the story there, you know, or message, bloody, if you've got neighbours, try and get on with them, guys, and bloody, if you can, help them out if they need a bit of a hand. Brian's away 3 weeks, 3 out of 4, 3 weeks out of the month, and that's the least I can do. I'm retired now. Doesn't hurt me to go over and spend an hour on his ride-on lawnmower and knock his yard over for him and all that type of stuff. And went down and gurneyed old Jim's 80 something years old, and his roof was looking a bit bloody mouldy, as you do here in Innisfail. Mould bloody grows everywhere because it's the wettest place in Australia. And Jim's trying to get his house ready to rent his little rental home, and I said, Jim, I'll come down with the gurney and bloody gurney your roof. And it took me nearly all day to do it. And he was over the moon. He said, oh mate, I can't thank you enough. He said, what do you drink? And I said, oh, don't worry about that. And I think he's going to buy me something whether I like it or not at Christmas. But that's what neighbours are for. So if you got neighbours, get over, make sure you get on with them. We're lucky, we got Roz's brother and sister-in-law next door. We got a fantastic, this whole strip here where we are here in Innisfail, really good people. We're just so lucky with our neighbourhood. We all get on, we all look after each other. The Aussie spirit, that's what it's all about. So if you can help your neighbours out, doesn't matter what it is. I think I got that off my old man. Dad used to go around, before he died, just to keep busy. He used to get bored, and he used to go around about 6 houses diameter and bring all their bins in and hose their bins out for them after bin morning. Hose their bins out, tip them upside down so they'd come home from work and their bins would be washed out and sitting there ready to tip up and go for another week. So I got that off my old man, you know, looking after your neighbours, neighbourhood spirit, all that type of stuff, eh? So anyway, that's just me. Everyone's different. Maybe in the big cities people don't work like that, but here in country towns, get on with your neighbours and bloody look after each other. Time to check this bloody pot of stuff. So I've just given that a stir. That's ready to go now. Give it a stir in, and I only use the 1 bottle of passata and a can of diced tomatoes and some red wine, and that's how you want it. Still enough liquid in there, but it's not too runny and it's not too dry. So I didn't need to use that 2nd bottle of passata. So that is good to go. I'm going to put this off to the side on the front here, and I'm going to get the pasta going. I'm going to crank the fire up and get the pasta on. I've got the Amatriciana off to the side. I want to get this fire cranked up now to boil the water for the pasta. So get some of this small stuff, drop him in. We'll get that fire cranked right up. And while that's coming up, I'm going to grab the small camp oven, wash it off, fill him up with water. Righto, so as you can see, I've stoked the fire back up because you want to boil the water. I always reckon a bit of salt in your water for pasta, and I always like to, I reckon this stops the pasta sticking together. Little glug of olive oil in your water. I reckon it stops the pasta sticking together. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or what. Righto, so on with our little camp oven. Look at that, straight over there. Get that into you. Lid on. Always put your lid on. Boil the water quick. You can see how much heat they can generate when you stoke the fire. They get some heat, and that's why those top bricks crack. So be prepared to sacrifice a besser brick on the top, guys. The rest are fine, just the top one, because there's a lot of heat up there. Okay folks, nearly there. Water's boiling on the old rocket stove. Packet of San Remo. I like using the large spirals because it kind of, all the juice gets in the spirals. 100% Aussie made, San Remo. So keep that name in brand. Oh, name in brand. Branding name. Jeez, I think I need another. Roz just got home from a walk, guys, and she's already into a vodka and orange. I'm a bad influence. She's been out walking for an hour and now she's bloody on the vodka and oranges. Righto, I'm going to leave the lid off there. Well, no, I won't. I'll probably put it half on, but you don't want to put it on because it froths over. So we'll get that pasta cooked up and then we'll serve up. Righto, guys, time to serve up. Pasta's done. It's al dente, whatever that means. Righto, me pasta. I'm just going to serve a little bit up because we're not ready to eat yet. We want to sit back and Roz just got home, have a little drink before we eat. Throw that lid on with Bobby Ass's hook that he made me. And I've thrown the Amatriciana back on just to reheat that, even though it was still pretty hot. Righto, I'll just do one scoop there, one scoop over there. I'll put that lid back on so no bugs fly in. That'll do. Righto. If you got Parmesan cheese, it's the way to go. I'll do it over here so you can see better. I'm just going to put a bit of normal cheese on. Righto, time for the taste test. Righto guys, time for the taste test. I've only served myself up a little bit because it's still daylight. I've got the light on, it's just late afternoon. Ross said I'm not ready to eat yet, so we'll sit back, have a couple more drinks, and then when we're hungry we'll eat. I can sit that off to the side and reheat it as I need it. But anyway, there you go. Bucks Amatriciana and pasta on the rocket stove, homemade rocket stove out of besser bricks. Yeah, as I remember it. Bit of chorizo. That's the star of the dish. Guess who's just under the camera here waiting for me to drop something? Rafa's going, come on Dad, suck the juice off a bit of bloody chorizo and drop it on the ground for me. You're unbelievable, lad. Yeah, that's why he ends up in the bed all the time, Ross said, because I feed him homemade food. That's nice. But even nicer with Parmesan cheese, not the canned stuff. You can use that. Some freshly grated Parmesan, be even nicer. I'll just use normal grated cheese, that's fine. That's a good camp feed, guys. Great winter dish. If you're overseas slacking, Mike Blakely and that, give that a go. That's a great winter dish. Great dish when you're out camping. And as long as everyone eats mushrooms and olives. Hey, listen, if you don't eat olives, leave them out. You could even leave the mushrooms out if you wanted to, but I recommend putting them in there. But the chorizo, the bacon, and all that, it's just a good feed. It really is. It goes a long way. We'll be having that tomorrow night. Just throw her in a bowl, microwave it up, bit of cheese over the top, and you got a feed for 2 days. And as I said earlier on in the clip, we need to think like this now, don't we? Unfortunately, the days of having rump steak or rib fillets every night, they're gone. You got to start spaghetti bolognese and dishes like this that spread out or can feed the whole family.
And looking at the price of chorizo.
Yeah. That chorizo's dearer than gold. There's probably a cheaper sausage you can use in there. Just if you can find a cheaper pepperoni or a cheaper stick of salami or whatever, it'll do the same job. I always use chorizo. I got six sticks of chorizo yesterday, like Savoy, big Savoy size, $27 for 6 chorizos or whatever you want to call them. Just everything's getting dear. So if you can find a cheaper salami or whatever, use that. But that's good. That's a good feed. Anyway, guys, take it easy. If you see this tonight, Friday night, I think it's the 17th of November or whatever, tomorrow night I'm doing a live feed with Simon from Lock Your Hubs 4-wheel driving. That guy knows his stuff. Knows a lot of the technical side of stuff. Doing a great interview. Really looking forward to that one. Tune in. Live feed tomorrow night, 6:30 Queensland time. If you see this in time, make sure you tune in. Subscribe to his channel too, please. Because I tell you what, I've picked up some really good tips off Simon. He knows his stuff. Be good to each other, guys. Take it easy. Hope you're well. Listen, I'm still in the 2000s. I was 23,000 subscribers. I'm now still in the 2000s. Hit the like and subscribe. Roz is doing the violin behind. My own fault. But anyway, if you want to see me do more cook-ups, if you want to, I do mainly do live feeds now. If you're new and you've just seen me for the first time, you're probably thinking, who's this idiot up in far north Queensland? I mainly do live feeds. Got on a Cam from Wild Touring yesterday and said, are you and Pete keen for a live feed before Christmas? And Cam said, bloody oath, mate. So Pete from WA Camping Adventures, Cam from Wild Touring over there in West Aussie. The last time we did a live feed, it was an absolute crack up. The boys are keen, so am I. Stay tuned for that one. Still hoping to do one with Slacken over in Canada. Join in the live feeds, they're good fun. You can have a bit of input. And if you want to see me do more cook-ups, maybe walk around of our new camper trailer, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, make a comment, and we'll catch you again soon, eh? Tell you what, this is going down well. See you later, everyone.